Marco. So, how's everybody doing? We got Jenna, we got Cool Gamer, we got Rep Mom 22, we got Rosaline, we got Smitty. Smitty. We got April Tobin, we got DJ Rogue Knox. April Tobin. Smitty. So, just waiting for a little bit of people to get in here. Oh my God, this woman is always loud in the hallway. Always. I swear, every time I go live, she's got to yell. Yell in the hallway. Knowing I can't just jump up and yell out the window, yell out the door. Quiet. That's good to hear, April Tobin. So, people are coming in still. How's everybody doing? Kung Fu Panda. So, today's live is going to be an interesting live. It's about masking mental health and what I think it means. I might be wrong. So, masking mental health is like putting a front on. Now, I could be taking this the wrong way, but this is my opinion. And we all know what opinions are, but that's good to know that before I start going. April posted in chat that the Kowalskis, if I said it right, they won their lawsuit against John Hopkins. I don't know what the case is about because I haven't been following it. I have heard of it, but from what is being said is the family won their lawsuit. So from the way people are in chat, that's a good thing. So back to what I was talking about is masking your problems. Is this the case with the mother? Just asking. Is this the case with the mother that's no longer here? Okay, that's sad, but good in another way. Sad in one way, good in the other way. The family won the lawsuit, but still sad. Sad case. You know, sad case. I hope that woman loses her license or gets arrested and gets charges. My opinion. But back to what I was talking about, masking your mental health. You know, putting on a front, acting like you're perfectly fine when you're not. So I struggled with that for a very long time. you know, acting like I was perfectly normal when everybody around me was saying, "You need help." So, hold on just a second. I gotta turn on a light to make it brighter in here. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. I wonder why it's not acknowledging making it brighter. It's unplugged, Sonny. Can't be doing that. Yep. This should make me brighter. Okay, let's fix that. There we go. All right, I'm back. So, masking, problems that we have, and we act like there's nothing wrong. So, I did that for a very long time, and I lost a lot of friends because I had a problem and I wouldn't deal with it. But I kept telling myself I'm perfectly fine. There ain't nothing wrong with me. It's you guys there's something wrong with. The whole time I was lying to myself. Now, masking could be another thing, putting on a front, acting like you're perfectly fine, and eventually that shield breaks and the real you comes out, and that could be a problem for yourself or for somebody else. Um, I just look at it when you have an issue, and if somebody is coming to you and like an average person, and saying, "Hey," or a friend saying, "Hey, I think you might want to see a therapist or reach out to somebody, because I'm trying to help you because I believe there's a problem." Take the advice or dig down deep into yourself and see if there's a problem. And if they're not, and if there isn't, then at least you took the effort. I always say to myself, there's in the beginning, I always had shame in asking for help. So I can understand when people are afraid to ask for help. And there's no shame in reaching out. There's no shame in it. It might take time and to feel comfortable about reaching out to somebody, anybody who will listen. Just reach out. You don't have to put a mask over it or try to hide it or pretend, because eventually that mask comes off. Eventually the hiding fades away and it gets worse over time. So it gets worse over time. See, April, I don't think you have to go to a doctor. I wouldn't trust a doctor either sometimes. I gotta grab my coffee. Hold on. It's not healthy to hide. It's not healthy. You know, what I struggled with was not listening to people that had their interest out for me. People suggested to go see a get help and go see a therapist, you know. And if I would have just listened to them, things probably would have been different. Things probably would have been different with me. Who knows? But it's probably a good thing that I did it when I did it because I probably wouldn't be here talking to you guys. So, so all right, I'm back. Oh, Kelly, and there's nothing the doctor can do for it, right? There's nothing the doctor can do. That's tough. Just got to deal with it. That sucks. I'm sorry that you're having to go through that. I've had headaches, but never a migraine, and migraines that last for that many days. See, whenever I go to the doctor, April, see, I take three medicines every night before bed. That's it. Every time I go to the doctor, I sit there and say, I'm here to get help. I'm not here for a band aid or temporary fixing. I'm here to get help. So if you can't help me, I got no use for you. If we can't figure out the problem, I got no use for you. If we can't resolve this, I got no use for you. You know, Rep Mom 22, you can always reach out and talk one day. You can always reach out. Just letting you know. So, but masking mental health is far beyond what I can talk about. There's other people that can talk about it too. There's other people that can relate. I'm just one person talking about it. I wish I could get other men to come up on this panel and talk about masking and putting on a mask. I wish I wish yeah, I agree with you, David. Um put that comment up. Well, they're not going to be under your insurance, April, because naturopaths aren't They're not big pharma, if I'm correct. They're more natural doctors. Um, but they're not very big because I haven't been able to find any. 2 ears usually. I got 2 ears, but only one ear can listen at a time when you're on the phone. Now, if we're on Discord, then the headset can hear you. You know, I wish. Oh, yeah, April. That answer is yes. That answer is yes. Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Yo, Jackie McDaniels is in the house. So, April, back to your question. Do you still feel like you mask it all? Oh, quite frequently. Quite frequently. I used to, before I went on a date with somebody, I used to say, "Hey, I am Emily. I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine." And I'm not. I don't disclose my mental issues that I struggle with on a daily basis because every time I do, and I'm an open book, it scares them away. It scares them away. And I don't understand why. I'm being honest and upfront. But when I say I have bipolar and PTSD and severe depression and insomnia and anxiety, that scares the shit out of them. They're like, "Yo, dude, you're fucked up." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm a person that struggles with things." They don't say that I'm fucked up, but they quit talking to me. So that tells me I'm fucked up. Excuse the language, but that's how I feel. It's like I have to be somebody else to be accepted. You know, that's the reason why I come here and I'm just me. Oh, it does get yes. Well, see, DC masking is really about concealing. It's about putting on a front and being something you're not. That is part of masking. Yes. If you're stimulating into society to appear neurotypical, you're putting on a mask and concealing private info like mental health, like being depression and stuff like that. You are putting on a mask. You're being something you're not. You're being somebody you're not. When you act like you're perfectly fine and you're not, people are eventually going to read right through it. I can read through it. If I'm talking to you and you tell me you're doing perfectly fine and you got a smile across your face, I can look deep into your eyes and sit there and say, "You're not fine. Give me a hug." And as soon as I give that person a hug, they're like, "How did you know?" And I'm like, "Because I can read you." You know, you could tell when somebody is shield over them. You can tell it. I can tell it because I put a shield over myself all the time. The reason why, because there's times I want to break down. When you're struggling with, and it'll be out in public. There'll be times I'll be out in public and I just want to break down. You know what I'm saying? And you got to hold yourself composure. Yeah, you got to hold yourself together. But sometimes you just want to break down and you can't. Some people just don't understand. Some people don't, you know, and some people do. There are people out there that understand what's going on and some don't. And then some just don't care to. I wish I could just go around and everybody that's struggling with something like Roe the Hated said, like he said, do drive by huggies, drive by and give people hugs that want it, that say, yes, I'll take a hug. So, see, I agree with that. I agree with that. The worst is when someone tries to compare your problems with others who have it worse. See, I've, back in the day, I used to be like, yeah, my life was horrible, probably worse than yours is. But you can't say that because to them, to that person, what they went through was probably the worst thing in their life that they went through. So sitting there saying that, like how I used to say, and I'm admitted, I'm at fault for it too. That I always thought my life was worse and nobody could have it worse than me because of what I went through, and that's totally not true. That's totally not true. So I I get what you're saying. It's not a competition. It's not. We've all gone through things. It doesn't make it worse than the other. We're all human. We're still existing. We've all gone through things. Now it's we can't change the past. But comparing whose life was worse than the others, you can't do that. I learned that the hard way. Like when you hear of situations that somebody's gone through, other people's lives, and sometimes you'll be like, "Damn, I couldn't imagine going through that." And then you realize that every person's life is different. We're not all the same. We're different, but we're here for a reason. We're together for a reason. This live isn't going to be a very long live, and I say that all the time, and it ends up being an hour. Yes, I can agree with that, Rosaline. You know, sometimes people share a story after I tell them something, not to compare, but it's their way of saying they understand. I can agree with that. Yes, I can agree with that. Sometimes we'll share each other's stories, not to outdo one another, but to explain that we understand each other, that we've come from a rough life. Nothing was ever perfect. We didn't grow up perfect. So I am working on. I talked to Viprin. I talked to Rogue Knox. They're going to be not anytime soon, but they are going to be working together on music for this channel. If you live long enough, most of us realize that everyone has something. I agree. That is a true statement, Kung Fu Panda. That is a true statement. I swear I need to get you up here because you sound like you've been through some things and you understand life pretty well, or you're getting life because you dropped some intelligent liners in here. I love your intake. Thank you. I got two people that are very intuitive to me because they've lived life and they have a lot more knowledge than I have. And I'm not dropping names, but I compliment the Kung Fu Panda. You're always invited to come up on panel sometime and talk. You're always invited. You don't have to cam up or anything. Just listening to your story, that would be that would be a good live to share the things you've been through and how you came out on the other end. If you ever want to come up and talk and share your story, you know, you're more than welcome. I say that for everybody in my channel because there's somebody that's going through the same thing you've been through. This is how I look at life in general. Even if they don't watch it now and they watch it tomorrow or the next day or 6 months from now, they just happen to view this. Hello, Marina. And they just happen to hear this. And they can be like, wow, this person went through something I'm going through right now. And they're still doing it. and they're still doing it. That's amazing. So I can do it. So, you know, that's my main thing about mental health and being on this channel is because even if I don't help somebody today, I'm gonna help somebody tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month. This is the reason why I keep going live because I'm gonna eventually help people. You know, it's gonna take time before I can reach the masses. Okay. I wish I could just reach millions of people so they could just, get the help they need. There's millions of people out there that are struggling mentally and they don't have a place where they can come to and people they can talk to. Here she goes. Here she goes. All right, let me stop singing. So, but I'm just helping people is what I want to do. That's all I'm going to do. And just to let everybody know, in Discord, if you ever need somebody to talk to, you can reach out to me. Kung Fu Panda, this is better. The slow build up will prevent overwhelming you. Someday you will have more subscribers than you ever wanted. Someday, someday. Yeah, yeah, it would probably, yeah. You know, I think that's the reason why I'm put here is to help people. It, to show people that we're all human. We're all human. And there's nothing wrong with struggling with something. There's nothing wrong with it because we're all human. You know, and I don't know how many times I got to reiterate this. Don't know how many times, and I'll keep saying it every live. I chose this path because in my mind and in my heart, this is my calling. Is my life perfect? Hell no. Do I have mental breaks? Yes. Do I talk like I'm perfect? Hell no. Nope. Nope. Sometimes I get to the point where I want to just snap, so I verbally snap once in a while. It's because we're all human. You know, when I was younger, when I was a kid, I was a very violent kid because I had no outlets. No outlets. I had nowhere to take out my anger except at home. I was a bad child. I'm surprised my mom didn't give me up for adoption as bad as I was. I'm being honest. You know, I needed help a long time ago, and I didn't get it until I was 32 years old. 30. No, 30 years old. 12 years ago. I've needed to get help since I was a teenager. I knew I had a problem. I just didn't want to admit it. I acted like everything was fine. People would tell me, you need to go get help. No, I don't. I'm perfectly fine. I'm good. Going to the store and buying alcohol. I had an issue. I really did. But, you know, coming here and talking to you guys, I hope it helps you guys in your day or your evening or your night. Sometimes, you know, I'm pretty sure there's some people out there to be like, yo, that guy's messed up. Yep. That guy really needs help. Yep. Yeah, I used to be that guy. You know, I, the thing is I used to pick on the same people that I'm like. Oh, I didn't want to admit it. And I thought I was fine too. Like I said, I wore a mask. I was both. I really thought I was fine and I didn't want to admit it. Then, back then, I really thought I was fine. Man, I used to make fun of people who had mental health issues. I'm serious. Like I put on a serious mask. Like, oh, that person's crazy. That person needs help. And then I'm like, shit, I'm crazy. I need help. And do I regret making fun of people? Oh, hell yeah, every day. Because I struggle with a lot of the same things they struggle with. No one's perfect. You learn from your mistakes. You learn. That's the word. Learn. You learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're gonna keep repeating them over and over again. You're gonna keep repeating the same process over and over again. Learn that the hard way. Yeah, not everyone is fine. Majority of us are crazy. We just don't want to admit it to ourselves. Majority of us are crazy. We're wild. Just saying. I bet you majority of us want to stand in the rain and scream and get that energy out of you. It snowed today where I live. You ever had the urge when it's snowing outside? You ever had the urge? It snows outside and there's good amount of snow and you're just so upset that you just want to run and jump in the snow to get it out of your system. Or I hope so too. I hope so too. Rep mom. I hope so too. Yes, exactly what I'm saying. So I'm gonna read everything so I can get an understanding. I'm gonna read everything, Kung Fu Panda. I used to mask when doing things that were extremely uncomfortable for me. Public speaking, for example. It's like I am performing and you aren't allowing out of you aren't allowing out in an audience. I think you mean yelling. If I'm correct, you mean audience. It's like you're up. Okay, I get what you're saying now. I get what you're saying. The disconnect was most of my life. Only last few years, I'm in my body, not above it. I get what you're saying. Okay, I understand now. Okay. I know what you meant, Rosalie. I think 2024 will be a great year for drive-by hugging. Yes. You know, I read a comment a while back, and it was about me doing this YouTube channel, right? And about me talking about mental health. And I had somebody make a statement. Was his live about him, poor me type live? And I almost wanted to be like, um, my first video was about my personal life. I've never made a poor me video. Yeah, I've talked about my life. You're doing a YouTube channel. People are going to want to know the real you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I could have, but I don't think I've ever done a woe is me type video where I need you to feel sorry for me because I'm not that individual. And I've never thought I ever came off that way. But when I read that statement, I'm like, they might need help and they're afraid to ask for it, which is fine, which is fine. Because there's nothing wrong with talking about yourself to other people. Because if you can open up to that person, that lets that person know that they can open up to you. That's all I try to do is open myself up so the people around me can open their self up so they can feel better too. Because talking always makes yourself feel better. People don't realize it, but it does. So I'm going to ask the people watching and listening, even the ones lurking in the background, put a one in chat if talking about situations makes you feel better. Put a two in chat if you like keeping it to yourself. Depends. Okay. Okay. So it depends on the situation. Okay. All right. I agree with that, April. It depends on the person you're talking to. And yes, Golden Marigold 7. Yes. Some people are taught not to talk about stuff. And that is a problem. Okay. Because, and that's something that hopefully one day will change. Yes, Rosaline. Yes. That, and if there is a peer to talk with. Yes. David, thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. All right. Yes. Thank you. That just put a smile on my face. Thank you. Because this platform is about good days and bad days, good news and bad news, struggling, not struggling, having a wonderful day, peaches growing in the trees, watermelon growing in the ground. We're able to carve a pumpkin, but eventually that pumpkin's going to wilt and die, and then you have to throw it away. And when it dies, that means that you could be struggling with something and you need attention. You need somebody to you, you know you need it. You need that hug. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I like what David said. Who gives a fuck if it was poor me thing? It's okay, because if you need attention, you need attention. It's fucked up when people say he's just doing it for attention. Someone hugged the bastard in. Jesus. I totally agree with you, David. Okay. I think, you know what it is? Well, I didn't make no pumpkin bread. I made some banana bread. Well, I didn't. I didn't make no banana bread. My mother and my best friend, he's like my brother, Sam, they made some banana bread. That shit's good. What's up, Shoemaker? How are you doing? Yeah, we're doing good. Us folks over here are are talking about Rogue Knox. His his man's did. uh, just talking about Shoemaker. This is what we're doing. We're talking about putting a mask over your true self instead of being who you are, covering it up. Like like putting a helmet on, not being who you are. That's what this live was about. So I'm talking about how I used to put on a mask and act like somebody I wasn't for a long time. Yeah. So Why are you even at a hotel, Marina? Should be at home. Now, do you still do it today? Do you still do it today, bro? Just want to know because I did the same for many years. Now I'm me. That's awesome, Shoemaker. That's awesome. That's awesome. There's a lot of things in life that we don't expect to help. And believe it or not, those things we don't expect are the ones that do. Kung Fu Panda, is this one of those motels that is highly rated by the owner? You must be in Detroit, Michigan at one of those motels. Yes, don't eat the cracker. Hotel, motel at the Holiday Inn. Okay, I'm gonna stop singing. Sometimes that's what you got to do. And I try to explain, well, being open, being open. If you're by yourself, be careful, Marina. Oh my God, that's nasty. It's called Bed Bugs Inn. That's nasty. Don't talk like that. Oh Lord, I don't. So I'm gonna quit paying attention to chat right now. Okay, I'm getting distracted. All right. So I'm gonna hang around for another 5 minutes. I'm gonna stay around for another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna send everybody over to ATS After Dark. But yes, yes, Rep Mom 22. Yes, I am very disturbed by the bed bug talk. Yes, because I've had to deal with them down south, and I hate them with a passion. I had to throw everything away because somebody came in and brought them. We had to smoke the house. It was horrible. All right, Shoemaker. Thank you for joining us. So, back to Discord, I want to ask you guys some questions. So, over in Discord, I have a thing called um, topic suggestion. So, somebody said masking either mental health or ADHD or ASD or how not to mask. Learning to be kinder to yourself, learning how to accept you as you are, and how pain disorders can affect your mental health. So, so I've always learned, um, mental health. Love you too, Shoemaker. You take it easy, brother. So, learning back to that, learning how to accept you as you are. That's back to putting a mask on. It's because you weren't learning how to accept you as you are. We're created a specific way. We're created for a specific reason. And I think that we wouldn't be given the struggles if we couldn't handle them. Some of us don't know how to handle them, and it's learned. It's learned. It's learned how to handle them. That's why you're here, April. And so as a community, we can help each other accept ourselves for who we are. You know, we all have a struggle. A lot of us just need to understand how to accept it. So, but I am getting ready to finish this live and meet you guys over in Discord. Um, and I thank you guys for being here. I got some weekends coming up. I won't be back until Sunday. Um, you guys are amazing. Some of you guys don't have to be here unless you want to be. You know, some of you guys just love being here and love my company, and I love you guys as company. You guys are amazing community, and hopefully it just keeps continue getting bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger. So I try to be active in Discord as much as I can. So, but if you have any questions, shoot me an email. I never ignore you guys. I get back. I'm just a talker, not a texter. So somebody is struggling with something, be prepared for me to say, "Hey, would you like to talk?" instead of text. That's how I am. So, I love you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I will see you at All Things Serious After Dark. And that is, hold on, let me drop the Discord link for those of you who don't have Discord. You're more than welcome to join. Here's the link to Discord. I just dropped it. So, you guys are amazing community. Join Discord so you can come hang out with us after dark. Crazy B, you know, so Friday and Saturday, I am not live. Sunday through Thursday. Once I get to the point where I could just do this and only this, that's all I'm going to do. I'll even do it 2 times a day, afternoon time and even nighttime. Make it a long live. So, and in Discord, if you need a one-on-one in Discord, it's always available. If you always need to talk to me in Discord privately, or you want me to call you on Discord or whatever, I'm always available. Just hit me up ahead of time and I will be there for you. I'll be an open ear. And if I can give you feedback, I'll give it to you. If not, I'll just listen. Emily, I love you, girl. So that is All Things Serious, and I'm out. I will talk to you in a little while. Have a good night, my friends.